slightly more than halfway through the year, but I'm going to talk about the top 5 books that I have read this year so far. Hi everyone, I'm here today to talk about the top 5 books that I've read thus far this year, and I'm just going to be really quick because you've probably seen them in wrap-ups and things. I'm just going to crack on through them, and they're in no particular order, they're just in the order that I've pulled them off my shelf. The first one is this one, The Secrets You Hide by Kate Helm. I read this not so long ago, really enjoyed it. This is about Georgia, who is a courtroom artist, and she draws what she sees as she's watching trials go down. But Georgia has a very dark past, so she starts to wonder whether her dark past is actually clouding her judgment and wanting her to pursue justice just a little bit too much. And she's now starting to wonder whether she's had the wrong man put away with the help of her sketch, because her sketches are what are helping sway the public into opinions, and Georgia has to go on a journey to discover if she actually has left the wrong person out of jail, and it involves the inevitable unravelling, the inevitable surprise ending, and I didn't see where this was going, and it started taking a path that I wasn't sure I enjoyed, but then once it's all cleared up, it made it absolutely brilliant, and I've never read anything like this before and I loved it. The next one that I've got is this one, Your Guilty Secret by Rebecca Thornton. This is a look at the darkest element of celebrity culture. And we have Lara King, who is very famous. She's in LA and everybody knows who she is. She's sort of America's sweetheart, even though she's from the UK. But everyone loves her. And she has this Instagram perfect life. She has the perfect husband, the perfect daughter. But one day, her daughter goes missing and we are left with the unravelling of Lara King's life. And then we are left wondering what lengths Lara will go to keep her perfect family facade under wraps. Again, this was another one that I just didn't see coming, and that is something that I love in a thriller, because often you can see what's coming. I didn't see this coming, and I think it serves as a warning to just not to believe everything that you see on social media, because these perfect facades that we see are not the whole story. And I'm not saying that everybody's holding secrets like Lara King is, but there will be another side to the camera that we don't see, and the way this book delves into that is absolutely brilliant, and I can't recommend it enough. The next book that I absolutely loved is this one, Perfectly Preventable Deaths by Deirdre Sullivan. This was fantastic. It's about 15-year-old twin girls, Caitlin and Madeline, who move to a very remote area in Ireland and end up living in a castle. The absolute dream. Your mum has remarried and the dude owns a castle. Excellent. But there is something very, very weird about Ballyfran where they have moved. Girls for years have been going missing off into the hills. No one knows where they've been going. And we've got Caitlin, who is boy crazy, and she sets her sights on a boy and she starts tumbling on down that road. And Madeline, meanwhile, starts to dabble in witchcraft. And somewhere along the line, Madeline starts to suspect that her sister Caitlin might be in grave danger. And she needs to really look inside herself to figure out who she is, who she wants to be, and what she's going to do to sort out what is going on in her sister's life. I will say that during this book, I felt that if Caitlin were my sister, I would just love to slap the taste out of her mouth. There was just something about the way that she was behaving that was just, oh, I wanted to shake the girl. And I'm not often prone to violence, but oh my goodness, this girl would have pushed me to my limit. But I enjoyed the teen angst of it all, and I really liked the bond that the sisters shared, because even though Caitlin starts treating her family like crap, Madeline was there, and Madeline was just so involved in wanting to help her sister that I found it really quite heartwarming. This book was quite fast paced, I couldn't put it down once I started it, and it was enjoyable all round, and I loved the rural setting, the castle-y setting, the witchcraft. It had everything that I love in a book, and I really enjoyed it. The next book is one that I just can't recommend enough, and it's this one, The Passengers by John Mars. And I've got a gorgeous proof copy. Look at this. How fantastic is this? Beautiful. So this is set in the not too distant future where technology plays a huge part in our lives, in that now cars are driven automatically. So you get into a car, you decide where you want to go, and the car will decide which route it takes, where it's going to go, what streets it's going to avoid. If there's traffic, the car will know and it will try and avoid it. And the car makes decisions such as if there's going to be an accident involved, with the car, where the car's going to crash into somebody or someone runs into the road. The car makes decisions on which is going to have the biggest impact of life. So is the car going to plough into that person knowing that it's going to run over that person, but if it hits another car, it's going to kill 4? The technology within the car is able to make these snap decisions, and ultimately the car decides your life. And there are various levels of these cars. So you've got ones that will just drive you about, but you've still got an override system. But you can get right up to level 5 cars, where you get into that car and that car does everything for you. And you can just sit back and relax. The windscreens on the car can be turned into movies or games or whatever, so you don't even have to be watching the road as you go, because the car is doing it all for you. But inevitably, as often happens in these tales of allowing AI to take over the world, we have a situation where 8 of these cars are hacked into and their passengers are effectively taken hostage. And it becomes a worldwide streamed event where everybody has to decide who's going to live and who's going to die. And all of the cars are programmed to collide within a certain amount of time. And the public and a select couple of people from the government need to decide who gets to live and who gets to die. And just wow, it is such an adrenaline-paced book. I could not put this down. I loved it. They look into all the different people. It's such a sociological look at the world and how the media can portray be one thing, and everybody will back the media, and everybody will back sort of social media. How one little indiscretion in your life can be put out there, and all of a sudden everybody now is vilifying you without knowing the rest of what goes on. This is highly evocative. It'll have you thinking. It will have you on the edge of your seat. It'll have you devastated, excited, confused, horrified, all in equal measure. This is one of the best books I have read ever. So not just this year, I love this. The back of the book tells me that this is soon going to be a Netflix series, and I'm there for it as soon as I find out that it's out, because I just can't wait to see how this translates to the screen. This is amazing. Make sure that you read the book before the Netflix series comes out, because it is just everything. And the final book in my top 5 thus far is this one, The Day We Met by Roxy Cooper. This is an unusual choice for me, being that it's a romance, and it is a romance about 2 people who are already married to other people. Yes, it's an affair, people. I wasn't expecting to love this as much as I did. I stepped into it thinking I was going to hate them because they're 2 people having an affair, and I'm not a fan of adultery. But there is something about these 2 people where it leads you to question everything about your moral compass. Everything about these 2 screams star-crossed lovers that are meant to be together. I do believe in fate, and I do believe in soulmates, and I do think that these 2 are soulmates. And the way that this book is done is so very clever. It's spanned over a huge portion of time. It's a decade, I think. I'm not sure if you've got a year or 2 over, but it's around a decade. And it is just, we look into the lives of the 2 different people independent of each other, and when they're together, they only meet each other once a year, every year, and there is just, I can't tell you how much, this book's given me goosebumps to talk about it, because it affected me that much. It was fantastic, and I would love to know if any of you have read it yourself. So there we go, there's my top 5. Let me know if you've read any of them. Let me know if you're going to. All books will be, as usual, linked down below. And let me know any of your top 5 so far this year, because I'm always out for recommendations. And I'll speak to you all soon. Bye for now.